Hello.
Hello.
Here we are. We all made it. I was here first, ahead of the race. But what are you going to do? Hello. Welcome, everybody. How you are doing out there? My name is Emma Brager, and I'll be your MC and basic witch for the evening. We're the D20 Initiative, a group of Calgarian theater and theater-adjacent folks who just want to play D&D in public, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our very first one-shot episode of the season. Now, before we begin, it's very important for us to recognize that the place we settlers now know as Calgary has a deep history and a legacy of storytelling. In the spirit of respect and truth, we honor and acknowledge that we are telling stories in the traditional territories of the Blackfoot people, the Nakota people of the Stoney Nation, the Beaver people of the Tsuut'ina Nation, the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3, and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 territory of beautiful southern Alberta. It is full-on spooky, ooky, trick-or-treat, pumpkin lumpkin, I saw Goody Proctor with the devil season out there in the world. Or, as we D&D nerds know it, just another Monday night in Fantasy Town. So, cuddle up with your creepy dolls, give your werewolf a bone, and tell that poltergeist to just calm down as we get started on this evening's bone-chilling game. Now, our live-streamed adventure will usually wrap up anywhere between 9:30 and 10 p.m., and halfway through, we're going to have a short 10-minute intermission as well. Of course, we are on the socials, and we encourage live tweeting about the episode as it streams. You can use the hashtags D20 Initiatives or Pages and Mages if you want to tweet about the show. You can also find D20 Initiative on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to learn more about our upcoming events. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channels on YouTube and Twitch so you never miss an episode. And hey, speaking of the Pages and Mages hashtag, we have a very, very exciting announcement. For the last month, we have been partnered with Dicebound, a very cool company based right here in Alberta that are making some sweet, sparkly, sharp-edged math rocks, aka dice, for those of you not in the know. Now, Dicebound has generously donated a set of their blacklight reactive ultraviolet dice to be given away to one lucky follower of the D20 Initiative, and tonight we get to announce our winner! Yay! Woo! Drum roll, please.
Oh, it's right now. Nice.
Yeah, it's right now. So earlier today, Master of Ceremonies Mr. Griffin Cork drew one name at random, and the winner is MS Liber 236. Congratulations, MS 236. May these dice never see the inside of your jail. We'll be in touch after the show to get those beauties into your hoard ASAP. Now, thanks again to Dicebound for their generous support. Check out their wildly successful Kickstarter campaign to see what they've been up to, and I'll post the link in the chat when I'm done with this. Now, let me introduce you to your team of adventurers. Mr. Jason Mehmel is your Dungeon Master / Crypt Keeper. Alan Johnson will be playing the skeleton xylophone on sound. And of course, your very brave and hopefully not too grave players are Jumpin' Jennifer Gerritsen as Willamena Webster, the dwarvish fighter. We've got creepy Curt McKinstry as Ziggy Brineybottom, the halfling rogue. And please welcome our two very special guests, Haunted Holly Rome as Dragonborn Druid Chrysanthemum Fligbit, but you can call her Chris. And finally, Eerie Eric Philpis as Flibbles, no, I knew it, Stib Waggletop of the Vlaki Waggletops, the Gnomish Wizard. Now, you may be wondering what makes the D20 Initiative different from other live plays. Well, here in our particular corner of the internet, there are times where we want you, the audience, to play with us and alter the very fate of our party. You see, much like our main campaign, the world in which tonight's players are situated has some errant magic that sometimes affects them in unexpected ways. Sometimes a boon, sometimes a burden. This is where you come in. I will need 4 volunteers from the audience. Each volunteer will control when these magic effects are imposed on each of our heroes. Sound off in the chat if you're interested in controlling the destinies of Willamena, Ziggy, Chris, or Fibblestib. Now, while we're waiting for volunteers, some history. Back when we did this event in a real live pub, we miss you, Dickens.
Like forever ago.
Hi. We used to give out a rubber chicken representing each player to the audience, and when the audience squeaked the chicken, that's when the magic effect would take place. So, to keep this tradition alive, when our volunteers type "squeak" into the chat, I will interrupt play. Oh, there it is. I will interrupt play as soon as possible to impose said random effect. Now, keep in mind you can only squeak a maximum of 2 times tonight, once in each act. For the first act, our all-knowing DM, Jason, will let the audience know when squeaks can come into play. And the second act is all fair game. Whenever the impulse comes to you, do not squander your squeaks. Don't forget about them either. Aside from that, we welcome audience interaction and commentary in the chat. Please refrain from correcting Please refrain from correcting rulings or commenting on character or combat choices in a negative way. We roll with the punches and support each other up there, and we hope our audience does too. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact us at D20 Initiative yyc@gmail.com. Okay, let's see who our hopefully benevolent squeakers for the evening will be. Sounding off in the chat. Who's the squeakers? You have to type, "I volunteer."
Who's the squeakiest?
Someone squeak for me. Squeak for me.
All new characters, all new squeaks.
Players, look hopeful for your potential squeakers.
All right, we have Marcia, the big winner. She's going to be squeaking for, let's say, Marcia, you're going to squeak for Chrysanthemum for our special guest.
Yes.
If we don't have any other volunteers, players, I get to squeak for you.
That could be fatal.
Could be. I'm very distractible.
If people volunteer once the show starts, will you let them?
Yeah, for sure. If people volunteer later on, I will, cast your fates upon other folks as other folks become available. Okay, I'm going to leave it with me for now. If other fates arise, I will. Oh, ow. DJ Skellebones himself volunteered to squeak for one of you.
Skellebones.
Skellebones.
All right, Skellebones, you're on. You're going to squeak for Ziggy.
Oh, yeah.
Making notes. Yes. Al says yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
somebody
feel
called
that one.
David Neufeld has volunteered.
Fantastic.
That's right. So, David, I'm going to assign you to, let's give you to Fibblestib, the gnomish wizard. I know you wanted the Dragonborn, but she's already been taken.
All right, let's do this.
Which means that I will be squeaking for Willamena for now.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect.
I think so too.
Yeah.
All right. Now that is done. So squeakers, beware. You now hold the delicate thread of fate in your hands, and players, good luck. Now, that is enough for me. It's time to turn you over to Dungeon Master Crypt Keeper Jason to take us away. Hey, onward, heroes.
Yay!
Woo! All right. Well, hello, everybody. As Emma pointed out, I'm Jason Mehmel. I'll be your Dungeon Master for the evening, and you'll notice this is my wizard familiar, Mucho the cat, who will be temperamental throughout this session. I am going to leap you right into the world and let everybody know what's at stake here. So, there are many worlds, and on those worlds, you may find libraries that are a little different. Libraries that house and protect something a bit more than just the books themselves. These libraries are protected by a special kind of librarian, magically connected to them, imbued with bookmarks. Marks are somewhere on their person and occasionally flare with power, causing something unforeseen and unexpected to happen. Sometimes we hear a squeak when that happens. And our players particularly are members of the Order of the Quill, protectors of the Library of Barovia, a heavily protected adjunct of Castle Ravenloft. This is a realm of vampire lords and misty mountains and woods. And as we see this, we're floating above this dark, misty landscape. And we drift to a colorfully painted carriage that is racing through the twisty wooded track on its way to the town of Valakai. Each of our adventurers are mulling over the words of Ursula, the sphinx who guards the lagoon at the core of the library nestled beneath Castle Ravenloft. This library is a haven to much of the creative works of Barovia, and Ursula herself has been known to pen a tale or two. But her look was serious as she regarded you tonight. I'm sorry to say that this is no story. My ink pot has been stolen. The ink inside, imbued with the power and of my power and the power of the lagoon, I use to help tell our story and protect the stories of others. Through my connection to it, I have tracked it to a warehouse in the town of Valakai, where the thief probably waits to sell it to those who would see the fall of our library and the loss of all of our pages of beauty. This is dire, my heroes. These dark forces should not have been able to sneak it through our barriers, but our defenses are weakening, and without the inkpot, all may be lost. Her solemn portents still ring in your ears as you hang on tight to the fast-moving Vistani carriage, racing to Valakai and the warehouse on which all of your hopes are riding. Players, I want you to introduce yourselves. Please describe, a little bit about yourself and what you look like, and describe how you're hanging on to this carriage as you're carrying these dark thoughts. Maybe we'll start with Ziggy.
Greetings all. My name is Ziggy Brineybottom, and my life began upon the high seas aboard the mighty Liza McGee, the sea vessel that I called home. I was born a halfling, but being raised amongst the many cultures that kept the Liza afloat, I feel at home just about anywhere. But the land beckoned me, and I followed its call. I traveled a great many miles, and me wanderings brought me here to Barovia, where an interest in magic led me to its great library. It is my job to ensure nothing goes missing and handle all things security. I am small in stature, but don't let that fool you. By the time you've caught a glimpse of me jet black hair and eyes and me roguish smile, you may find a knife between your ribs. Along with me new family, Willamena, Fibblestib, and Chrysanthemum, we aim to keep the library safe and a beacon of knowledge for those who seek it. And I think I'm riding on top of this carriage, hunched over and quite upset because someone has stolen on something from the library under my watch.
Good to see. Good to see. So with that next, Fibblestib, give us a sense of yourself.
Greetings, friends. My name is Fibblestib Waggletop. My family and we've lived in Barovia for, I don't even know how many generations now. And us gnomes have always maintained vigilance over the library here with Ursula. Back when I was just a young pup, I had beautiful brown curly locks on top of this noggin, but these days I ain't got much left to show for it there anymore. Having spent 287 years on this mortal coil, it's taught me a lot of good things about wizardry and spell casting and all sorts of those good things. I do love me some good old-fashioned spell casting. And with my newfound friends, I plan to get into all sorts of adventuring fun. I figure I'm probably sitting in the carriage, reading a book, seeing if I could find anything about, I've probably brought a stack of books about this ink that I might have found, and maybe I'm, trying to see if I can piece together who might want to buy it or sell it or who knows what.
Excellent. And maybe Willamena, give us a sense of yourself.
Yes, well, you may address me as Willamena, and you, she, her pronouns. I'm a tad on the formal side, and if you'd like to be the same, I'm Manchester Willamena Webster, expert duelist and dabbler in the eldritch arts. Originally tall for someone of dwarvish ancestry, the years may have slightly bowed my posture, and you see other signs that this is the last flush of my physical prowess. My clothing is likewise formal, a bit old-fashioned, buttoned boots, ruffled lace at my throat, thick woolen shawl across my shoulders. I relish silence in the library and the soft swish of swordplay, drops of blood spilled in the twilight and snow of Barovia. I have probably given up the reins to intern Chrysanthemum, but I still feel like I would be at the front beside her as we tear through the twilight, and I would be ready for action, of course.
Excellent, excellent. Well then, and Chrysanthemum, who you mentioned, let's find out what she's all about.
Well, hey fam. So my name is Chrysanthemum Fligbits. So I am a dragonborn, and but I'm not the usual dragonborn. Essentially, my egg was found by this amazing family of gnomes in the forest, and that's where I grew up. But recently, I am the newest intern here. And it's just been past my probationary period, and I've only almost been let go twice, so I think I'm doing super, super great. Essentially, when I was living in the forest as a druid with my gnome family and like really just like basking in the earthly powers of nature, I was super happy there. But then my bookmark glowed one day, and my family said I had to honor the call, and now I'm here. So you can find me pretty easy. I'm just over 7 feet tall. I've got brassy skin, which is where my name comes from. And it's, you know, sometimes my allergies get the best of me, so I accidentally light things on fire, which might be why I've had a bit of a rough start here at the library. But mostly I balance all my chakras to make sure that I'm okay. And really, even though I'm an intern, I feel that my job here is to just kind of be the bridge between the roots of eternal earthly knowledge and the branches of the tree of wisdom. I think I really serve the group that way. So anyways, right now, Willamena just passed me the reins, and I've never driven a carriage before, but like me and this horse are super vibing. You know, we've had long conversations together. So I think we're going to work it out. It's going to be fine.
Amazing. Amazing. So yes. Okay. So the four of you are rattling through the woods, and you arrive at the town of Valakai. Going straight to the warehouse because you know you've been guided specifically to where this is. It's a moonlit night. It's dark. There's you know, that very cinematic sense of like that cloud that just happens to be hanging right in front of the moon. That's what's happening there. Maybe a bat or two. Don't take any notice of that. Don't worry.
So a typical Monday night in Barovia.
Exactly. Yeah, this is typical Monday night in Barovia. Yeah, so you are now outside of the warehouse. Oh, sorry, and I should also mention, Ursula did let you know that there is a thief that had stolen this ink pot that she specifically tracked here that is looking to sell it. So you're basically, you've got a limited time before this ink pot, before the people who stole it are coming for it. And with that, I leave you in front of the warehouse ready to search, and the squeaks are now active. Audience.
I'll do like a flip off the top of the carriage and land on my feet. And I look to the rest of the gang and I say, I love you all, but that thief is mine. He's mine, I say.
Well, I admire your initiative, Captain Brineybottom. All right. I step off the carriage. I put my hand out, hoping that intern Chrysanthemum will help me down.
Here we go.
And yeah, well, all right. Well, do you feel like casing the joint there, Captain?
Yes. Is there a door or something close by?
There is. So this is a sorry, one second here. This is a basically like almost like the Ark of the Covenant kind of warehouse. Like, so it's like about 2 stories tall. There's a big like double door that they would bring carriages in, or any kind of other large shipping vehicles would come in that way. There's a smaller side office section, like that's maybe like a shed that's bolted onto the side of the warehouse, and then high windows all along the tops there.
Does it look like there might be one sort of entrance that might be a little more strategic as a means of accessing this building?
You could go that shed adjunct. You could probably get from the top of the shed up to one of those top windows.
Right. I'll be back in a jiffy. Just wait for me here. And I disappear into the shadows, and I'll like jump up on top of the shed and try to peer in one of the windows.
Okay. So yeah, when you, I think that's all pretty much within your purview, so I'm not going to worry about dice rolls for that. So what you can see is basically like rows and rows. There's basically 4 big like shelving areas that kind of go deep in. They go like 4 sections deep into the warehouse. They're all about 2 stories high, so about the height of the warehouse, and it's just crammed full of boxes and packages and satchels and sacks of all different kinds of things. So, and you don't currently see anything in that room.
I don't see any movement of any sort.
Let me just see here. No, not currently.
Right. I jump down off the shed and I return to the party, and I'm like, there doesn't seem to be any movement inside. Lots of shelves, lots of things being stored upon them.
Okay.
I really want to commune with whatever natural plant life is around here, just to see how they're feeling. Are there any vines growing up the side of the house, or like bushes near doorways? Like, I just want to like hang out with my plant buddies and find out if they've just had a lot of activity near them recently.
So are you casting like a specific spell or anything like that, or are you kind of going just more for like a vibey situation?
I just want to like hang out with them, just like let them. I just getting a general sense, like if they feel like, oh, someone just brushed past me, if they feel agitated, or if they're, just to kind of get a sense where the activity's been happening around the building.
Totally. So as vibe checks go, you've got you're not detecting anything currently. But I will say that you now have a sort of a wider sense of the area around the warehouse, like the trees, the grass around there. You kind of have this sense, like you can feel some squirrels that are some like sort of very depressed squirrels that are looking for acorns, and they can't in this dark, benighted kingdom. You can feel them rustling through the grass, that kind of thing.
There's some really sad squirrels here, guys. I'm sorry. I know that's not what we're here for, but I'm just really worried about them.
Do you think they might be able to tell you if anyone's been by recently?
Could we use them?
I can talk to them for a little bit. Can I go find the sad squirrels?
Yeah, yes, you can. Now, again, is there like a specific spell for talking to animals that you're going to be casting, or?
No, not specifically. I believe though that I have the ability to.
Like it's a natural ability?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Animal handling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Handling a squirrel.
Yeah.
I know that intern Chrysanthemum has often cheered me up. I have great faith that whatever she is about to do is useful to us somehow.
Excellent. So yes, okay. So yeah, communing with the squirrel. What you do know is that there was 2 dark figures that arrived, or that were in this building and have left it recently.
Okay. Guys, I think the bad guys just like went for a walk or something. I think we might just be able to like go in. Like the bad people just like came and left. That's what the squirrel said. Also, they're really sad about their acorns.
Well, does that mean that maybe we've missed our chance to catch the thief, and maybe we've like have we got some tracking to do now, or what do you think you're getting from them there?
Well, I mean, if there's no like immediate, the squirrels didn't think that there's anyone in there. So, or at least currently. So I could cast locate object and just like see if they just like stored the stuff and left, and then we like grab it and then we go home. Like easy.
Well, that sounds perfect.
That sounds like a very useful approach.
Wonderful. I cast locate object.
Do you need to just remind me with locate object? Is that do you have to be familiar with the object to locate it, or just
it says. Oh, come on. It says it needs to be familiar to me. Yes.
okay?
I sense the direction of the object's location as long as the object is within 1,000 feet of me.
Oh yeah.
If the object is in motion, I know the direction of its movement. And the spell can locate a specific object known to me as long as I've seen it close within 30 feet, at least once.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. You're definitely familiar with this. Willamena?
Oh, I was going to say perhaps Ursula had at least described it to us, but we have seen it with our own eyes. So
Yes. Yes. You've been present in the lagoon as she's used.
yes.
So yes. Then yeah. So you summon the idea of the ink pot in your mind. You can see its golden shape, and you can feel the magical ink that swirls within it, and you can sense it. It is directly inside that warehouse. You can now pinpoint it exactly.
Guys, I'm so helpful. I know exactly where it is. We should let's go. I got
This is why you're the best intern we've had all year.
And you're the best mentor.
Oh, shucks.
Are we perfectly certain that there's no one inside? Should we assume a stealthy posture? Should we just, Operation Sneaky Sneak, or we will head in?
Stealth
I
is
think
always
Operation
served
Sneaky
me
Sneak.
well.
It's a fine idea.
Yeah.
I think we should be wary of traps as well. I'll keep my eye out for any kind of little triggers or trap mechanisms as we make our way towards the door.
I will come right behind you, Captain.
And so
I'll be taking up the rear there.
okay. So we've got Ziggy, Willamena, and Fibblestib, and then Chris, where are you in that approach?
Well, I guess I'm right behind Willamena, but my arms are quite long, so I'm kind of like pointing over their heads. So.
That sounds great. And sorry, what entrance are you taking? Because we kind of mentioned the small shed and then the other big door.
So there is an access point through the shed itself, or do we have to climb up and go through the window?
There's the main door, the big door.
Yes.
Like you'd crack those open, and then there's the shed entrance, and then there's the window entrance. I think it's probable that shed also goes into the warehouse. Like it's the way it's attached. It's clearly like an office that's connected, so they're not
Right. I think we should try the office entrance. It seems a little more subversive.
We are in Operation Sneaky Sneak, obviously.
Operation Sneaky Sneak commence.
Yes.
excellent.
This is where I shine.
Can I actually get some sort of stealth or dex rolls from everybody?
Stealth checking.
Oh, that's an 8. I'm whistling.
I have a 14. I'm really trying to keep my tail from hitting things as we go through the door.
Can you actually describe how you're keeping your tail from hitting things?
It's kind of, when like pups are hunting something and they have their tail like straight up and it's really rigid because they're like going. It's like that. But I'm also excited, so there's like a holding back of like how excited I am to
Excellent.
But my buttoned boots barely make a noise. I rolled a 21.
Ooh. Willamena's got some stealth as well. I rolled a 27.
Well, okay, that would make sense for the rogue. Great. Okay. So yes, you as a group, you all, some of you louder than others, but generally you all move through. You enter into the shed. You see like a desk scattered with papers, various shipping manifests and orders and things, and then there's a smaller door, or not a smaller door, just another door against the wall of the warehouse proper. I'm assuming you open that door as well.
Well, Chrysanthemum, where do you sense the object? Is it in this room, perchance?
I think I sensed it.
Deeper in.
Further in. It's like a little bit more in, but we're so on the right track right now.
I'd like to just like listen at the door.
Okay. So as you're listening at the door, you don't hear anything specifically inside the warehouse. It's dead quiet in there. But Chris, you sense some rustling in the grass from your vibe connection.
Okay. Can I sense the size and general shape of this rustling?
You can sense that it is 2 sets of humanoid or human-sized footprints.
The light shadowy guys are back. They're like coming.
Right. Let's make our way into the warehouse so we have a better angle at them should they come through.
Okay.
I'll
Sneaky.
and I'll creak the door open just a little bit and kind of poke my head in.
Okay. Yep. So you don't see anything in the anything in the warehouse proper. Like you can see through some of the shelves, and it's generally as empty as you can see. Like there's no shadows or footsteps or anything that you can detect. Willamena, or sorry, Chrysanthemum, you can feel the steps getting closer.
Oh.
And something else.
A wild witch appears.
Hello. We have had our very first squeak from DJ Skellebones himself. Oh. That's for you, Ziggy. So you can roll a D20, please.
That is a 2.
A 2. Just 1 second. I've lost my sheet. Jason, do you have the sheet?
I do have the sheet.
I closed the wrong window.
Do you want me to jump into the description?
Jump into the description.
Okay.
Onwards, heroes.
Ziggy,
Yeah.
your tongue feels furry.
My tongue feels furry. I don't like this feeling.
Well, and everything that you're saying is in a great accent, but it can only be now understood by the squirrel or any other animal that's nearby.
Captain, what's coming? Oh, what has happened? Does anybody understand?
I do. He says he's got a furry tongue.
Oh, jeez.
What were you doing in the carriage? I knew we shouldn't have left him alone on the top.
So now, while this is happening, while you guys are talking, you're now hearing some voices at the large door, and they are like unlocking with a padlock the main front door. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to let me know what you want to do in the situation. Yes, Willamena?
Tell me where it is, Chrysanthemum. I will just go and get it very quickly.
It's right there. And I point at a shelf.
And she gestures a spot about like 40 feet deeper into the warehouse. That's on the like it's like two shelves high, generally like still reachable for a dwarf. And yeah, easy to grab. The way she's pointed, you know exactly where you're going.
I cast Expeditious Retreat so that I may move very quickly indeed, and I head off towards the object.
Okay.
In this weird bookshelf room, are there any statues, and even better, statues that look like gargoyles that I could pretend to be like?
No, unfortunately not. No, this is when I was saying Ark of the Covenant, that's more like the warehousey kind of it. It's more like boxes and stuff. Like there's not as much decoration. There might be a gargoyle inside one of the boxes, but you'll never know.
No unboxing for me. Is there a big box big enough for me to crouch behind?
You can actually like probably at the angle from where the door is. So you guys are, since you've come in on the side from that larger front door, where you can stand, you can almost get behind one of the shelves and be mostly obscured.
Cool, I do that.
Okay.
I yell in my loudest squirrel voice to hide. And then I jump into one of the shadows of like one of these bookshelf or these shelving areas.
Okay.
Only I understand him.
Yeah.
Squeak. Yeah, squeak. Not our squeak. And yeah, Fibblestib, what's your next action?
Well, I would like to get ready with my wand of web to try and get these foul people stuck up if they seem to be getting too close to my friends here.
Okay, and where are you in relation here? Because we had Chris jumped behind one of the shelves that's sort of perpendicular to the front door. Ziggy is jumped into some shadows a little further into the warehouse, and then Willamena is booking it to the middle of the warehouse to get the item. So where are you in that dynamic?
I'll probably be just on the inside of the doorway, kind of near Ziggy, I suppose. I'll try to find a spot in the shadows that could still give me a good line of sight.
Okay, great. Okay, so Willamena, how fast is your expeditious retreat?
It allows me to basically dash as a bonus action, so I'm doubling my speed to a whopping 50 feet.
So yeah, you basically reach it as you reach the item as the door, as the door opens, so yeah, you see. So you're the one. I'm going to assume that you're both like keeping an eye on the door and going for the item. So as you get your hands on the box that has it cased inside, there is the door creaks open, and you see two large burly men in Barovian robes, robes, dark grays and browns, very very depressing looking clothing, and they're looking right at you. They're looking exactly at where you're what you've got your hands on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're stealing what we stole. No, and they, as a pair, transform into hybrid human wolf forms.
I cast web.
As you do, or before you do, roll for initiative.
And we have a squeak.
Before you roll initiative,
Oh dear.
I squeaked for Willamena.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So go for it, Willamena.
Oh, right. I get to roll for this.
Roll your D20,
What is the DM? Okay, I just rolled a 2, which we just...
Roll again.
A 20.
Ooh, a 20.
Oh,
Willamena, your hair shines like the mane of a true hero. All friendly creatures who can see you are awestruck and inspired.
I normally wear my hair in a little bun. I release it.
That's right. As one tumbles down, all your allies immediately gain 1d4 temporary HP. Do you want to roll a d4?
Certainly. What an honor. Okay, that's a 3.
3 temporary HP to everybody. Onward, heroes.
Amazing. It also makes you very clear to the werewolves that have appeared in front of
I
you.
don't mind. I shake it off and I say, stole what you stole? What? You don't even know what you're saying anymore. Clearly, you know it's mine. And bring it on, dog faces.
Amazing. All right, let's everybody let me know what you rolled.
I rolled a 22.
22. Sorry, who was that?
That's Willamena.
Willamena. Okay. 22. Okay, and then that was a 5 for Fibble.
You better believe it.
And then we've got that's okay. Ziggy,
I got a 15.
15. Okay, can you roll one more time for me?
I sure can. That's a natural 20, so that'd be 23.
There we go. Okay. I'm still going to put you behind Willamena, but that solved a tie. So, and Chris, that's a 7 or 6. Sorry, adding was hard. Great. Okay. So with that, we've got Willamena is the first to go. You've got the box in your hand now. It's bigger. Well, it's about the size of a bread box. It's exactly the size of a bread box. So large, like large-ish. It's not a it's not a small little ink pot.
Not easily stowable is what you're telling me. Okay, all right. And sorry, there are 2 of these creatures, and they are sort of within reach if I am expeditiously
opposite
moving
of
moving towards them.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I am going to dive into it and just go for the one that spoke so disrespectfully. And I am going to attack it with my rapier, and I sweep my fancy little shawl over my shoulder, over my forearm for some reason, he doesn't know, and I will attack with my rapier.
Excellent. So yeah, give me a roll.
So that's a 22 to hit.
There is. Yes, that's a hit.
Nice. I like that so well. I am going to attack him again. Being a fighter, I have that privilege.
Yes.
And that is a 19 to hit.
Yes, that'll also do it.
Oh, okay. So now we know I've hit twice, and so I'm going to roll my damage now. So 6 plus 8 plus... Whoa. I knew I was going to have to do math, but that was totally wrong. 8 plus 14, so that's 28 just piercing damage with my rapier.
28, did you say?
Yep.
All right.
Does he dare? Is he still standing?
Still standing, yes.
All right. Then as a bonus action, what am I going to do? I will just gently sort of waft my shawl off my hand and pull, surprise, a dagger and attack with my offhand as well as my bonus. Oh, that's not so good. That is a 15 to hit.
That will still hit, actually.
Nice. Well, I don't get to add anything fancy, but that's still just 2 piercing.
So there was the 28. That was a total of 2 of the first 2 attacks?
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
2 piercing.
So now 30 total.
Yes.
Regular kinds of damage.
Amazing. Well, not amazing. It sucks for the poor guy being attacked, but
awesome,
awesome for you. So yeah, he howls, literally howls in pain with this attack. The one next to him he's going to scratch at you with his claws, but just before he does that, he throws out the tarp that he had strapped around his back, and as it hits the ground, these 4 piles are next to it, and that will resolve in a moment. But this claw comes out at you. Let me see here. Sorry, I got to find the right dice, and let's see. That is I'm assuming a 9 to hit. Does not.
Oh no! So as you do so, she just steps out of the way with almost preternatural dexterity.
Somewhat aloofly, perhaps? Like, really? Great. Okay.
Goodness me.
Oh,
That was the howl. That from
angry werewolf.
that was a pretty awesome werewolf sound. Okay, so then the next thing that I'll mention is, and then it'll be Ziggy's turn, is that the piles, those piles, start to form into 4 basically humanoid wood and twig and straw forms. One of which has like a pumpkin head. Another one has rakes for feet. There's another one, its head is made of a cute teddy bear, but like one eye is falling out. And then there's another one with the clothing of what like the Vistani wear, very colorful, playful colors, which are at odds with how horrible its visage is. And with that, it's Ziggy's turn.
All right. I run out from the shadows of the bookshelves, and I dash across the room, and I dive and slide underneath between the legs of the werewolf, a dagger in each hand, and I slash at each Achilles heel of these werewolves, and I say, "Steal from me, and you pay the price, you abomination."
And sorry, are these both werewolves you're attacking?
Just the one, like the one that Willamena already hit. So
Okay.
I'll do my attack. So one dagger is 23 to hit.
Okay, yep.
The other dagger is a 17 to hit.
Okay, yep. Those will both do. Yep.
All right. So on the first one, the first dagger, I'll do my sneak attack damage as well.
Okay.
So
Because it's they're already engaged with Willamena.
that's right. Yes.
I know how to work
that's-
Ziggy's activities into the program.
12 slashing. 15 slashing with the first dagger,
Okay.
and then just 4 slashing damage with the other dagger.
It lets out another painful, terrifying howl. This werewolf is looking very, very grim in terms of how it's.
That's right. Scream. and I slide and I kind of come up behind Willamena and I hide behind her.
Excellent. All right. So then the next thing to go are the scarecrows, which now lumber towards Willamena. Oh, sorry. Question, Willamena. Did you the pot? It's still on the shelf, right?
I think I would have picked it up and put it at my feet.
Okay. So
Yeah, sorry, I didn't specify what, but that's what I pictured. Like, oh, I can't stow it. I'm here and fight.
Okay. So like you took it with you up to the werewolves.
Yeah.
Put it down. Okay, I'm cool with it. Make sure I remember where it was. Great. Okay. So yeah, Ziggy's behind, and then we've got the scarecrows, which are all going to take a swing at Willamena. And they will reach out with their claws. That's 16 to hit.
That is a miss.
Okay. 18.
Also a miss.
Okay. Natural 20.
Oh goodness! As that happens, I cast shield. Oh right. No. It's a natural. Don't. Just zip it, Willamena.
That's okay.
She takes it. Of course she does. Why wouldn't she?
So there's that one, and I'm gonna do the last scarecrow now.
She's taking them all. She's whatever. She's taking it all. She's just shutting up about the fact that she can shield.
Well, that same scarecrow, it hits you with a natural 20, but then completely flubs its next attack with a critical miss. So now these guys have a lot of attacks at you, so there's going to be a few more rolls here. So I've got one hit on you, and then the third one attacks. That's already, I know that's a miss. That's an 11. 18 again. That's a miss.
Just barely a miss.
Yeah. That's a 17, so that's another miss. And then this is the last swing. And yeah, so there's only one attack of these scarecrows can get at you, but they're all just like scrambling around you. They're so hungry for you. And that one
It's
that
like
hit,
a twister in a field of corn.
yeah, exactly.
And
Maybe these are children of corn, perhaps. Let's see. So that is normally the is it max damage for I don't get critical hits.
double
often.
your dice.
Double my
Just
dice.
double the dice, but not your
Not my
like-
bonus.
exactly. Yeah.
So 9 points of slashing damage on you.
Oh no.
All right.
Uh-oh.
We may have a squeak.
We have a squeak from David, who's squeaking for Fiddlestib. So, Fiddlestib, would you please roll your D20?
With pleasure.
Mm.
That's a 10 there.
A 10. You await your destiny, Fiddlestib. A swarm of iridescent beetles pours out from under your clothing, their tiny squeaks demanding you choose a target within 30 feet of you.
Do I have a target within 30 feet of me there, DM?
Yeah, I'll give you the werewolves as a target.
I pick the werewolf who's already taken a beating.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, go. I need to make a save, and if I do, give me a second here.
I just realized that when I went sliding underneath the legs of the werewolf and screamed at him, it was all in squirrel. So it was like, it was like screaming at him.
I should also say, since you mentioned that, that effect has worn off as of your next turn.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, our little squirrel buddies like came up to the window and heard you and are like watching, like
Eating like acorns.
little seeds they found, like because they're enjoying the show.
So the werewolf just barely misses its save, and so it looks like it takes some damage here. Let me roll. And these are beetles, was it?
I believe so, yeah. A bunch of beetles just crawled out of my clothing, making this weird squeaking noise that sounded like rubber chicken.
Well, so with that, these beetles are nipping away. They nip away at all of the cuts and bruises that Willamena has already leveled against, and like sort of maybe get in there a little bit, which is gross. And it drives it mad with pain, and then it collapses to the ground. It's now gone. Basically, it's been taken care of.
Nicely
Wow.
done, Elder Fiddlestib.
Well, it's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Chris, it's your go. And I'll also mention actually that werewolf, as it fell, a bag of gold falls and rolls open. So now there's a bag of gold that's like exposed itself as that werewolf falls.
Well, that's cool, but I'm really worried about Willamena. So I dash to try to like get in. My goal is to get between her and all of the scarecrow things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll get an opportunity of attack, but I want to like get my body in between her and them. So, can I do that?
Yeah, you can. I think you will. Yeah, you will get an opportunity attack on.
That's fine. Go
from,
for it. They can do that.
So give me a moment here to. Does a. Get my notes up here. That's a 21 to hit.
Yeah. That is.
Yeah, okay. And then I'll just do a few more here. for their other ones, that's also definitely hit. That was a 22. Then there's a 18 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to the big time.
I just wanted to be helpful.
And then his last attack, he flubs completely. He falls over as he's trying to attack you. So
Well,
two of them, you got between, like, so she's Willamena is almost surrounded here. So you got between two of the scarecrows in Willamena.
okay.
So those 3 attacks.
Oh, I'll let you roll this damage first.
Okay, great. So that the first attack hits you for 5.
Okay.
The next one hits you for another 5, and then the last one for 4.
Okay.
So these like twig-like claws scratch at you a bunch.
Hey, Chris, roll yourself a d20.
Great. 4.
A 4. A cloud of frost sparkles all over your body and spreads out like a freshly shaken snow globe. Onward, heroes.
So
Extra glittery now. Okay, so I'm not done. I took all those attacks for a reason, yo. Because now I'm lighting them up with my fire breath. Didn't want to hit Willamena. I needed to get the flammable things in front of me, and I'm lighting them up.
amazing.
Magnificent.
The one thing I want to say, let's do, because the effect that just happened to you has an effect as well.
Oh, does it? Okay, sorry.
I want to resolve that because I think it'll be an interesting combination. So then so everybody, including Willamena, needs to roll Constitution save.
Including me?
Oh,
No, sorry. The 2 scarecrows and Willamena need to roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh no, and Ziggy.
Yeah,
Is it-
that's right. He's hiding behind me.
Yeah.
It is a 16.
16. Okay. Ziggy, what did you roll?
I got a 6.
Okay. And then
I didn't see it coming.
no, no.
We're behind Wilhelmina's skirts.
I was. You've got very frilly skirts.
Several of them.
So Ziggy and one of these 2 scarecrows will take 1d6 cold damage from the icicles around her.
Right.
Just, there's probably more cloak back there. Wrap yourself in it, Ziggy.
So that's
Awfully
Captain?
cold in here.
that's 4 points of damage to Ziggy and to the scarecrow.
Sorry, did you say 4?
4, yeah.
4 points of cold damage.
All right.
It's freezing in here.
Chris, I think it's now your go. You can do your fire breath.
All right. I saw this ice thing happen. I went, that's weird. And then I just like a dragon turning its head. I'm trying to hit all the flammable things with my fire breath.
Okay.
They have to make a save, Constitution save, and it has to beat. Oh, my brain. Sorry. It has to beat 12. 12 is the number to beat.
12 is the number to beat. Okay.
Yeah.
And which save was that again?
Constitution.
Constitution? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. And I think actually in these cases, these scarecrows are particularly vulnerable. Yeah. So I think all the scarecrows failed their roll on that. So you got all 4 of them.
Great. I hit them for 3d6 fire damage, which is 8 damage of fire damage.
Okay.
I rolled low.
That's still good. Sorry, that was how much again? 8?
8 for each of them.
All right. So the one with the pumpkin head is starting to look hurt. rest are still smoldering. And with that, we'll get Fibble.
Yeah, just all this rolling of Constitution saves reminds me that Expeditious Retreat is a concentration spell, and when I took that 9 damage, I should have rolled to maintain concentration.
Right.
So, would you allow? May I do that for us now?
Yeah.
And I have advantage because of Warcaster, so I pass. I got 15 plus 5, 20.
Okay, great.
Just still round. Good.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Fibble. I know we want to get through your turn quickly here.
Well, I would just like to cast web on as many of these things as I can within. I think it's a 20-foot. Yes, a 20-foot cube. How many could I web all at once without getting my companions here?
Well, yeah. So that's the trick, is that they're all kind of close together. If only you'd been able to go at the start of the whole turn.
If only. Oh well.
Yeah. No, I know.
These old bones just ain't as quick as they used to be.
Yeah. So yes.
Oil for that.
Yeah.
What was that, Willamena?
I said I have an oil for that. You know, we should discuss.
I would greatly appreciate some. Thank you.
All right. Great. Yeah. So what you do is you can catch the werewolf and 2 of the scarecrows that are a little bit further away from that action. So you can catch them inside that cube, but then the cube extends outwards towards that main door.
Wonderful. Well, I need them to starts its turn in the web or that enters them during its turn. Oh, okay. So never mind. I guess at the start of their turn, they got to make a dexterity saving throw against a DC 15. And if they fail, then they're restrained as long as they're in the webs or they break free.
Excellent. Okay. Great. Well, then with that, Willamena, it's your go.
All right. So 1 werewolf down. Scarecrow still 1 werewolf and 3 scarecrows still in play, right?
Actually, all 4 of them are still going, but one of them is fairly hurt at this point.
And one of them is on the ground, if I recall. Somebody fell because of a critical. I'm going to attack the one that's on the ground.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, that was the second one.
With advantage since it's prone with my rapier. So that is a 23 to hit. And that one.
Well, yes. So that you chop it in half. Basically, you chop through the hay of it, and the smoldering bits are now in 2 different sides.
Nicely done. All right. So I will look up and I will move my attack with my rapier. This point, taking my shawl back over my arm and going to hit the big werewolf this time.
Excellent.
Okay. Oh, good. That's a 7. I thought it was. So that is 15 to hit this time.
15. That will still, especially because he's probably restrained at this point.
Nice. All right. So I'll roll my damage on that second one. So that is a 7 plus 7, so 14 piercing damage with a silvered weapon.
Yep.
And then for my bonus action, no, I'm just going to stay put. I don't have anything else I think I want to do. And I say to Indun Chrysanthemum, I say, dear, just this is, I have trained for this. It's just stand behind me or something. Now we're on the thick of it. But yes, you are very precious. So no, let me take the hit.
Great. Well, so with all of that done, Ziggy, you're next to go. And
right.
Basically, just to set the scene a bit here, that werewolf, the werewolf that's still around is restrained, is captured in the web, and there's 2 more scarecrows that are still trapped in the web. The other one that was free has been chopped in half. There's 1 scarecrow left that's still free.
Do these scarecrows look like they have eyes? Like, can they see?
Yep.
Right. I jump, like I lean out from behind Willamena, and I pull my hands up to my mouth, and I say, looks like you could use a lot more light in your life. And I blow through my hands, and I cast color spray.
Oh my gosh.
So I roll 66, or sorry, 60-10. And then that's the number of hit points of creatures that will be blinded.
Okay.
You start with the creature with the lowest hit points and work upwards.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, feel free to do your roll.
I'm gonna do it on D&D Beyond because I only have one D10 and it'll take forever. So that is a total of 38 hit points.
Oh my
worth
god.
of blindness.
Oh,
Oh my god. So
my captain.
Yes, and then I quickly jump behind Chris.
the
Jump from from behind Willamena, and then over to the other side.
the color spray blinds the scarecrow, so it's now tottering off into the back corner of the warehouse, and it also blinds the last werewolf,
Yes.
which is restrained, as is the other scarecrows. And with that, you are now free of, if you want, of combat, because these guys are stuck in that web for, I think, about an hour.
That's right.
Oh,
Blind
Elder.
and restrained is how I like all my enemies.
Hey, if you set that web on fire, it'll deal some extra damage to them too.
Oh.
But I don't know. Do we want to just leave them stuck there for the authorities to deal with?
What if we're prepared to retreat with the package and then fired them up as we left? I not that I'm advocating for that.
Listen, I know they're the bad guys and I know it's a werewolf, but don't we want to know why they took the thing? Can I just talk to him for a sec and be like, yo, what's your deal? Why? Why would you take that?
This is why you're the best intern of the year.
I think we should just see, and if he's gonna be a jerk about it, then whatever. But let's try.
Kill him then, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I go talk to the werewolf.
So the werewolf is spitting mad. You killed my brother. You've stolen our riches.
Listen, I think we just need to take a deep inhale and then a deep exhale. A lot just happened. You were trying to murder us too, so let's just be cool for a sec, okay?
The joke is on you. Those I was selling to are coming here now. These raves will eat your soul.
Raves, like boop, 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 like that kind of rave?
Wraith.
Oh, rave. Not a party, not like my summer last year. Okay. So, but did they pay you? I see all this gold. I start picking up the gold off the ground. Is this what they paid you for it? Because we're taking it.
Yes, they did pay him for it, and he again, he's spitting mad. But as you're taking this gold, it feels extra cold in your hands.
Oh.
Uncomfortable. And as you're picking it up, you hear a whistling, like that sort of eerie whistling through the woods. And you can hear that this whistling is getting particularly stronger in the courtyard outside of the warehouse.
I throw the money back down. I go, guys, I shouldn't have been greedy. That was bad. That's bad, Republican bad money.
You would certainly never have a republic here in Barovia.
Got bad insider trading mojo. Anyway, I think he's just letting us know that a bunch of people paid him, and apparently they're on their way here. So maybe we just peace, and we can
Let's
I'm
get
all
out.
for extracting information from enemies, but are we done with this fellow?
Yeah, it's just whatever.
Right. So I'm gonna like run, jump, and grab my immovable rod, and in the air I'm gonna click the button and like hang there, and then just take my 2 daggers and slit his throat.
Oh my god. The coup de grace is, yeah, like these are now bloody webs is what happens.
Yeah.
And I got sprayed a little bit. I was like, oh, you couldn't have just given me a second to back up, dude. Okay.
And then I like click the and I dropped down to the ground and I said, I told you, he was mine.
He did say that.
Doesn't say that.
So with like as this is happening, that whistling is now something that all of you can hear. This whistling, this wind whistling.
Let's head out the back.
I don't think we're
Quickly.
done.
I expeditiously retreat out the back.
It's a wonderful idea.
So
Yeah, I'll dash.
the party is zooming out the back. You guys are going through the shed, and what you can see as you're like running back to your carriage is that in the among the dirt, the mud around in the front of the warehouse, there are these 4 wraith-like figures. These like black shadowy, like basically like a less copyright infringing version of those wraiths from that movie where they try to get rid of a ring.
Run.
Yeah. Exactly. There we go. Sound just like that. And they are moving their hands over top of the mud around the warehouse, and from it is starting to bubble and form up into these figures. And in that image, as you guys are climbing onto your carriage, is where we will take actually our intermission.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, very well done.
All right. On that cliffhanger, wraiths in the air, on the road, in the air, doesn't matter. We're going to find out when we come back. We're going to go to a quick 10-minute break here, give everybody a chance to refill your glasses and get yourselves all settled in for Act 2. We'll see you back here in 10 minutes, everybody. Have
Yay.
Baby.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome back. I hope you all had a lovely and refreshing break. We are the D20 Initiative. I can't even say our own name right. We are the D20 Initiative, and this is Dewey Decimation, Episode 5 of Pages and Mages. Act 2 is about to begin. This is a friendly reminder that our 4 volunteers, and hey, P.S., we've had a shake-up in the squeak arena, so Dandelion is now squeaking for Willamena. All the volunteers have another squeak loaded at their disposal for this act. However, the effect will be the same as the one that occurred in the first act, so keep it in mind for your squeaks and show us your skills with the timing. That's enough for me. Let's get back to it. Onward, heroes!
Okay, well, when we last left our heroes, of course, we had, you guys were climbing on top of your carriage as you were hearing this mournful, wraith-like whistling through the air, and as some chanting that maybe you're hearing more in your minds than you are with your ears, much like that right there, and the ground bubbles, and these forms, these humanoid forms, are starting to rise up out of the earth, out of the clay. They're forming into these forms, and while that's happening, you also hear something kind of like, and I apologize to our sound designer for not giving him this full description, but a horse crossed with the horse whinnying crossed with a blast furnace. Coalescing out of the air, 2 jet black horses appear, hooves of flame with gouts of fire coming from their mouths when they breathe. Their eyes are like glowing coals in their skulls, and you can feel them looking at you. Standing in the courtyard, there's 2 armored figures with leathery, dead-like skin approach those horses and climb onto them as you guys are climbing onto your carriage. You can't see much more because I'm guessing your carriage is now starting to roll away very quickly.
Okay, good. That was my main question. Dan was like, are we on the carriage? May I tell into Chrysanthemum to... Yes,
I'm
do
already
it.
going. Let go, little horse, let it go.
So yes, you are rattling down the. Oh, we have some.
Oh,
First squeak of the act. This one is in tribute to David, who was Fibblestib's squeaker for Act 1. He gave me a time code to execute your second squeak on, but we were at intermission, so I'm doing it right now. Fibblestib, this is your squeak. Bugs. Onward, hero.
What was I about to say before that happened? Oh yes, okay, yes. You're Chris is mushing, and the carriage is now rattling away, running through town, running out of town. You can look behind you and see that those fiery horses are starting to chase. And Fibblestib, you now have a bunch of beetles that are coming out of your robes that you can send in any direction. Where would you like to send these beetles?
Are any of these horses or their riders perchance within the 30-foot distance of these beetles?
No, because they're still getting going as you guys have started to race away. However, they will get to a place where, like, if you drop your beetles.
I dropped my beetles. Oh no, my beetles!
That yes, they will get in there. And so what the way I'll administer that is that you have now actually a slightly longer lead on these fiery horses and their ghoulish looking riders as they deal with these beetles that are causing the horses to whinny and pull back.
The bookmarks have been particularly troublesome today, haven't they, Elder Fibblestib? And yet you have worked it to our advantage.
Well, I just doing everything I can, you know.
So what I'm going to have is I'm going to have Chris give me a an animal handling roll,
Okay.
and we're going to use this to see how well you get the horses ahead of your opponents here.
Okay. I rolled a 13.
13, amazing. Okay. And is that with a bonus or anything?
No, that's with my bonuses.
Okay. All right. So the horses are going to be chasing. So one of those gets, or both of them rather, get within now about 15 feet behind you. So they're closing in. They gained some of the road as you were racing around some of these corners. I'm going to let everybody have basically a minute to let me know what they'd like to try to do, if they can think of anything in this turn, and then we'll do another contested roll for Chris and the horse riders. So I'm just going to choose the people I'm seeing. Willamena, what's something you'd like to try to do?
I would like to get up onto the top of the carriage so that I could have an unobstructed line of sight on these riders, and I'm going to draw my long bow, and perchance I will be ready to kill them.
Excellent. Well, yes, yeah, and they're within 15 feet, so yeah, you can definitely take a shot at them. In fact, I'll let you basically. This isn't strictly a normal combat situation, so I will let you take a shot. Maybe I think on the next turn through, because this was climbing up on a moving carriage.
Fair enough.
And we'll work on the how the shot works. Did you have any questions about that?
I was going to say, if I walk by, if I clamber by Elder Fibblestib, I would like to have a slight sidebar with him.
Well, let's go to Fibblestib. Let's have that sidebar, and then yeah.
I'm just like leaning out the window, kind of checking out what my beetles are doing, and producing my wand of web as I see Willamena traversing the top of the carriage.
I lean over the edge of the carriage. I'm like,
hello,
Elder Fibblestib, lower your voice for a just a moment, my friend. I say, let us call this Operation Flower Garden. The intern seems to think she should die in my place. You and I, we make a deal. She doesn't do that. If any of us survive this night, it's her.
it should be passed on to the young ones. The care of the library, most definitely.
Yes, we are agreed. I proceed to the top of the carriage and draw my long bow.
I heard flower garden, and that's all I heard. And I was like, plants, we need plants. And I want to cast plant growth. But because I can traverse like through plants, no problem. I basically want it to be like this streaming plant growth thing that comes behind our carriage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but it all normal plants in a 100-foot radius, centered on point, become thick and overgrown. The creature moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves. So I'm slowing them down.
Oh, that's amazing. In fact, I'm actually kind of thinking like you're rocking along this carriage road, twisting and turning, and as that happens, like literally just behind your wheels, like the roots and like knots and weeds just kind of come up to about like maybe 2 feet high of growth.
Yes.
Fibblestib, did you have a question?
Yes, I would like to. I don't think I quite stated. I would like to be casting web, maybe like across some of these vines or something to put like a barrier between us and the people who are advancing.
Amazing, great. Okay, that both of those things happen. We've got all these vines coming up. You're now moving into trees, and so now the web is between the vines and roots and the trees, and it's created a barrier that those fiery horses have moved into. And now Ziggy, what would you like to do or prepare?
Well, do I see the result of what happens with this web? And
I think so. Yeah.
right, I climb up on top of the carriage as well. I look to Willamena and I go, "Are we doing Operation Flower Bed, Flower Garden?"
Flower garden, yes. Are you in?
Of course I'm in. And I'll fire off a couple of shots from my short bow.
Okay. Well, but before those things happen.
Yes.
I do think in the spirit of when the squeak was delivered,
No.
it was from Al and it was for Ziggy, and that tongue sure does feel furry. So I'll let you figure that out. Onward, heroes.
So none of what that you just said.
Captain Brineybottom, just take out your bow. Who knows?
I still stand by everything that I said. It just comes out like a squirrel or whatever. And I fire off a couple of arrows.
Captain.
It's like a weird inversion of a Disney princess is what this is.
Yeah.
So, okay. All Willamena hears is squeaks, but very affirmative squeaks with very touching eye contact. That clearly is involving the team.
Very impassioned.
Yeah. And so with that, I'm going to do some rolling for the fiery horses. See if they can get free. All right. So the what you guys can see behind you is that these horses have been held back, but because they're half made of fire, they're also burning through some of the webs and like pushing through it faster than would be normal. Or not normal, but because this is all unnatural, but faster than somebody who wasn't also made of fire.
Oh golly!
So you have delayed them. They're now about 30 feet behind you, but they've moved through the difficult terrain that you've presented and are now further back. So Chris, I'm going to have you do another animal handling roll.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to check.
Jason, do we get to do Willamene and I get to fire off a couple of arrows?
Yes. I just want to do these checks to see about how you guys are moving first.
So that one was a total of 23.
23. Amazing. Great. Okay. And then the horses are going to. Yes. Okay. So they have not been able to catch up to you. They have not, but you haven't lost them yet either, based on how you're rolling. So I will let the arrow party here make their attacks. We'll go with Willamena first, and then for Ziggy.
Great.
Okay. So I will be using both of my attacks with my longbow. So I could roll them perhaps at the same time. So that would be a 20 and a 10.
Okay, so yes, the 10 does go long, but the 20 does hit square in the chest of one of the fiery horses.
And so that will do 11 piercing damage.
Oh.
Amazing.
And we've had another squeak, this time from Dandelion for you, Willamena. Let down your hair. Onward.
And actually, as she does this, and her bookmark shines, you see that she has she sort of loosens her lacy sort of kerchief around her neck, and you can see that she has tattooed almost like a doily around her neck. And that's her bookmark, and there's like 2 slashes as though Fangs had attempted and failed, and that is her mark. And they flare. And everybody gets their temporary hit points. I will roll it for you. Oh, crummy, that's a 1.
I'll take
One
it.
more hit point than I had before.
And Ziggy, how does your bow?
Oh, sorry. So that was the 2 longbow. Is it a full turn, or is it just I get like 2 longbow attacks?
You'll get 2 longbow attacks. I'm just trying to kind of do like a quick run of actions by everybody.
Fair enough.
Ziggy?
Did you do damage, Willamena?
Yeah, so I did, it was 7, I
Right.
believe. Is that what I said?
In that case, I rolled a 24 to hit.
24 to hit. Yep, that'll do.
Or looks like 6 points of damage, piercing damage.
6 points. And so there's 2 of them running at you. I'm just going to say that Willamena shot the one on the right. Do you want to just pick it?
I'll shoot the one on the left, then I'll look to Willamena and smile and shake my head.
We're back to back on the carriage.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, sure, yes.
Amazing. So Fibblestep, what would you like to do?
Well, this time, seeing that these horses, partly made of fire, made very quick work of my web, I'm gonna reach into my component pouch and produce a glowing stick of incense, and I'm going to speak no, I guess I don't speak for this one. Oh, geez, the old noggin ain't what it used to be. Anyway, I'm going to make the requisite motions and hurl this incense towards these creatures. Now, forgive me, it's the 2 horses, and they have riders as well.
Yes, they have these riders that are have this leathery, dead-looking skin, and they're in armor. They're in banded leather armor.
Could I get all 4 of them within a 30-foot cube?
Yeah, because the if you can get the horses, then you're getting the riders too. Yes.
Perfect. Well, I need all 4 of them to make a wisdom saving throw against my DC of 15.
Wisdom.
As I cast hypnotic pattern.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. Okay.
I don't think we've ever used hypnotic pattern in a game yet.
It's a fun one. I quite like it a lot.
So the first horse, and so what's my DC for this?
15.
15. Okay, so the first horse shakes it off, whinnying angrily at you. The second one is completely hit by it, and then the 2 riders, the one on the horse that shook it off, was totally hypnotized by it. So the horse is fine, but his rider's not so good. The other rider is also hypnotized. Yes, you've got 3 of the 4 there.
So, yes, while charmed by the spell, the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0. So there's only one horse with a rider on it who looks like this.
Well done. Yes. Okay. So yes.
Oh, the horse now!
Now, one thing I should point out. If he takes damage, he'll be no longer incapacitated. But I would assume he's probably not staying on that horse for very long, is he?
Well, I'm gonna, let me get to that because I hadn't expected this, but it's wonderful. Mucho, stop that. Mucho is eating the dice, which is bad for both cats and dungeon masters.
And dice.
And dice, yeah. I guess I wasn't thinking about the dice. Anyway, so okay, first horse rider. They basically like it gallops to a stop or like whatever, like however a horse would stop really suddenly. Just breaks, and they both just kind of sit there, and you see it fall back as you guys are racing away, and then it's quickly behind it around a corner. That horse is gone. The second horse is continuing to gallop, and the rider is now no longer holding on to the horse the same way it was, but this horse is you can see that there's an intelligence here, and it shifts its weight enough to make sure that it doesn't lose its rider. It does slow it down somewhat, so it's because it's now got its attention half focused between keeping the rider on it and chasing you guys. So now it's about 45 feet behind you. And so with that, we're going to do one more round of running. You guys have now, so you've been running, and I should have said this earlier, you've been fleeing from the town of Valakai back to the library, which is nestled beneath Castle Ravenloft. And you're now 3/4 of the way there, practically. And so with that, I'll let Chris do another animal handling roll.
Okay.
And then we'll let the players decide what they're going to be doing.
I'm going to use my inspiration to re-roll that 5 for doing so good. And I'm going to use a different dice just in case, because turn that into a 6 with my modifiers. That's an 11.
Okay. So the nightmare does race even closer to you. It's now about let's say here with its speed and what you guys can do with that roll, and with its roll, I'm going to say it's now within melee range. Oh
wow.
Let's see. And it's going to do it's not quite fire breath, but it's kind of like a heat blast at you, at the two of you guys on top of the carriage.
Oh boy.
With your gleaming hair. That is a 19.
So yes, that does hit. Is that perhaps fire damage?
I guess it is. It's heat damage, but I don't think there's a difference. Yes, we'll say it is fire damage.
Elemental in some way?
Yes. Yeah.
I cast as a reaction to that, absorb elements. I will gladly take this for the team, but you see the fire of hell race along Willamena's very form, and it enters into her weapons, and God knows what she will do with it next.
Mm. And so
I didn't know you could do that. But it comes out as squirrel.
Yes.
That's amazing. But it comes out. Anyway. So just as a question, are you absorbing just the? Is it just to you the damage, or is it like, because this is an area of attack, so it's hitting?
I take the damage. I mean, I think I would still. You're right. I roll my con, but if so I roll my save if there's a save involved here. I guess if I don't take the damage, I wouldn't the reaction is to taking elemental damage.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Because yeah, so it did hit you, and it's a weapon, but it's not to save. So I think you do get to.
Right. I get to take I take the damage.
Yes.
And then I get to be absorbing the elements for future purposes.
Excellent.
Okay.
But does that mean that I would be hit as well?
That's exactly what I was about to say. That 19 is also to hit you.
That's a hit.
Okay.
But I'm going to use my my little what you call it my cunning action. That's what it's called. And I'm going to do like a back handspring and like leap back down into the front beside Chris. And I take half damage. But I'm going to look at Chris and say, how are things going down here? But comes out a squirrel.
I get it. I go,
But it
sir,
comes out
if you ask me, I feel real bad about not driving this horse better.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
So now, do you take the damage, Willamena? Like you actually get hurt? Okay. So
I do take it.
Okay,
take
great.
It feeds my arcane power.
You do have resistance to it, though.
Until my next turn, but I think
until
I take
the start of your next turn. That's right.
Right? I think if you have played it often, I will respect you, Fibblestid. But yeah, like I think I take it, and now I have it for the rest of my turn.
You take half the damage.
Oh, so I am immediately resistant. There you go.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and the idea, I think, is that the other half of the damage that you would have taken, you just absorbed, and now you can use it on the next.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I like that interpretation.
I think you're right. Yeah. Where was I going now? I completely forgot with all this excitement. Right. So it's 11 points of damage. We'll round that down. So 5 points of damage to Willamena and to Ziggy. Great. Okay. So with that, we're going to do. Oh, sorry. And Fibblestib, I think you still got an action to go here.
Oh.
Oh no!
Well,
wait. That was just the horse's attack. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay. Yes, we'll do one round of action for everybody because that was you guys were just reacting to the horses.
Yeah.
And then then we'll go back. So, but I'll let Fibblestib go because I just offered it to him, and then we'll do the 2 people who've been hit by fire, and then we'll do the person driving the carriage.
So I guess my question now is how. So I'm like you said that he's within the melee range of the carriage, right? Coming up behind the carriage.
Kind of, or like I'm seeing it as like sort of racing alongside. Like here's the carriage, and then the fiery horse comes like alongside and breathes up at the people on top.
Okay. Now, would I be able to touch this sucker?
Not easily. I would make you roll for that. Because you are still on a moving carriage.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, is that a concentration spell too? Dang it. Well,
Okay.
I guess.
In the interest of speed, I'm going to let you keep looking, and I'm going to go to the other 2 that are on top of the carriage, and then we'll come back to you.
Well, I think I know what I want to do.
Oh, great. Okay, then go ahead.
I'm just going to cast grease on the ground in front of where this guy's running.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so he's got to make a dexterity saving throw against my DC of 15.
All right. Let's see. And yes, the horse leaps over top of the grease spot that you put on the ground.
Versus.
But it was a
Oh,
good try.
Elder.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so now we'll go with Willamena, who's just absorbed some fire damage.
I have. I believe I must use a melee attack in order to. Yes, I do. All right. I take out my rapier and I lean daringly over towards the. Yeah, I guess to the rider. Unless I can hit the horse. Do you think I could hit the horse, dear?
Oh yes, yeah. You can hit the horse more easily than the rider.
Nice. All right, I will attack the horse with my rapier.
Okay.
That would be a 15 plus 8.
Oh yes.
So then I not only deal my usual, which is nothing to sniff at, which is a 1d8 plus 7, so that is 9 piercing, but the very fires of hell are returned towards the creature, and they will take 5 fire damage as well.
So, let's see here. That was 9 regular damage, was it?
It was 9. Yep, 9. 9 piercing, 5 fire.
So the 9 piercing, yes, you sliced into it, but the fire damage has no effect on it. It sort of goes back onto its jet black skin and then folds itself over to one of the hooves.
We are one and the same with the fire right now, aren't we? Oh, too bad. Oh well. And I can still attack again.
Yes.
Yes, being a fighter of this caliber. So unfortunately, that is only a 3 plus 8, so that's an 11.
Yes, you can't quite. The horse just moves just far enough away from your attack to get there.
And we are not doing a full turn here.
No, we're not. Yeah, just
Cool.
a general attack. Ziggy?
Can I ask, is the road that we're on, is it like wet?
Not. I mean, it's damp. It's like damp because there's mist and fog everywhere, but it's not wet. Like it's not muddy or, or sodden or anything like that.
Right. I'm wondering if I could like shape water but freeze it. So make the road slippery.
It's not that wet. It's a really good idea. I wanted to let you do it, but like it's not that. I think I'd be fudging. Right. Yeah, I'd be fudging too much.
All right, I got other things up my sleeve. Don't you worry. After saying to Chris, "You're doing a wonderful job. Keep up the good work," and it comes out as squirrel, but I think Chris understands it. I scale the side of the carriage and I grab onto the door and I swing the door open so that I'm like right in line with the horse.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hurl my dagger at it.
Amazing. Okay. Give me an attack roll for that.
And let's hope that wasn't all for naught. Oh, that's 22 to hit.
Oh yes, that's a palpable hit.
Now my second question is Willamena within 5 feet of this horse?
Not close. Yeah, I would say so. It's getting there. Yeah, if you had to be close enough to
could I
attack.
consider this my sneak attack?
No.
No? All right.
No, the horse literally saw you clamber along the side.
What do you mean? I'm a rogue. I was hiding the whole time. All right. And that's 7 points of I guess, piercing damage.
Excellent. Yeah, normally, if this were a regular combat, I would actually, yes, it's engaged, but this is it's
Totally
just...
understand. Okay.
Okay. Chris, is there anything you'd like to try?
Yeah. I'm gonna cast Thunderclap, which is a cantrip. And I'm gonna target it. I create a burst of thunderous sound that can be heard 100 feet away. Each creature within range other than you must succeed, sorry everyone, taking a Constitution saving throw. And they'll get 2d6 of damage. I'm freaking out. I'm just casting Thunderclap.
Oh boy.
Control yourself, intern. I rolled a 20, so. I even have an advantage, but I
Then it's a con save of 14.
14, okay.
Yeah, I rolled a dirty 20 for that one.
Oh no, Fibblestib.
Oh, my old years.
Okay, so you'll take 12 damage.
Oh my gosh. So both the horse though and the rider are hit by this as well, quite hard, and it knocks the rider off the horse. The horse is not dead. Neither is the rider, from what you can tell, but it does seem very, very lost in the whole process. You are almost now at the gates of the library, and as you start to ride through those gates, you can see this fiery horse riding in circles in the grass around its fallen rider, and as it's running, it's causing fire. It's creating a sort of a bonfire and smoke that is rising. So with that, if it's okay, I'm going to fast forward a bit because there's some other stuff that's going to be happening here. You guys,
I would like to flip it an obscene gesture as we ride away.
Totally, I support Elder Fibblestib in his attempts. Yes.
Excellent.
Rock on.
Rock on. Yeah. Great. Well done. Okay, so now you've gotten to the library, and sorry, my wizard familiar is now up very high in my apartment, and I'm noticing that. You've gotten into the library, and you've now entered through the main gates, and you're now into the main library area. And in these crypts beneath Ravenloft, the library is structured as a series of landings that then have like shelves that go about 20 feet deep on each side, and it's about 9 stories high, with this big vast open section. And then there's spiral staircases that arise from basically the ground floor up to the top of the 9th level. You come into the library on the 9th level, so it descends further down into the rock of Castle Ravenloft. And I think each shelf I said was about 40 feet deep, and space at each quarter section of that is a landing. Is a desk. So I'm just kind of giving you the general layout of the library. And then below the library itself, and on that main level, there is a large ornate spiral staircase that leads down to Ursula's lagoon. This is where she lives, and where the Sphinx of your library spends all of her time. There are stacks and stacks of paper in her lagoon, quill pens that are on desks everywhere. She's always writing notes about something. The stone of the cave has been worked into tiles, and the lagoon itself has a tile lip with intricate carvings all the way around of different historical figures and mythologies from Barovia and from places somewhere beyond Barovia, perhaps. And this is where you are, where you bring the ink pot back to Ursula. She takes it from you, and she's, I am so thankful to you, my heroes. This is some of our most dire days, and yet you have brought back a sliver of hope. Bless you for this. But then, even as she's doing that, an alarm sounds. There, Abigail, a ranger librarian among you, comes down to the lagoon, and she's saying the fire outside. It's summoned something more than we've ever seen before. 4 gigantic monsters are made of earth and clay are advancing on the entrance, and there is a horde, dozens, maybe more, of these scarecrow figures, these knotted bits of hay and twig into some dark form. They're advancing on us. What should we do? And Ursula looks at you all and says, "This is the most dire days of our library. I don't know what we must do, what else we can do, but I know that this ink pot must not fall into evil hands. I'm going to send it into the lagoon so that some other library may rescue it, and with it, the fate of our dreams. I need you to buy me time for this." And
You
so
can
with
kill
that-
us.
Stand our ground. Let's do this.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. What was it? Was it Angela? Was that the name of the ranger?
Abigail.
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 Yeah.
I'll say, Abigail, get your bow ready.
Okay.
Stand and fight with us.
So this is a moment where now I want you guys to take a moment. So from what Abigail told you, you've got a little bit of time before the siege truly begins. What would you like to try to do to prepare yourselves for this?
Will we be fighting outside, or are we assuming that they're going to be coming in to the library?
Well, this is the thing, is that like there is a big main door, like sort of like, think of it like a big castle door kind of thing, very ornate, that's at the top level of the library, with bookshelves all next to it and all around it. There are some small windows that are at that same side as well. They're not big enough for some of the larger creatures, but they're about human sized. And so those are some entry points. Then there is the 9 levels of the library, and then there's the spiral staircase down to Ursula's Lagoon. So that's the tactical landscape that you're in. If you want to go out and fight them, or draw them in, or anything you can imagine, I'd like to help you do.
Do we have any martial forces other than the 4 of us and Abigail to send out as fodder potentially for these?
There is basically a host of about 10 total librarians, of which you guys are 4. So there's 6 other librarians. There's a ranger. There's a few more fighters, and 2 wizards.
Well, I mean, libraries and fire don't go over so well. I feel as though we should try to deal with these creatures outside the library.
I would second that. I think that's a fine idea.
Is there enough time to take a short meditative rest?
Sadly,
hang out for an hour.
Sadly, not long enough for an hour. No, you'll be too busy preparing. Although actually,
perhaps Ursula has supplies that Dear Ursula, we have given you all of my life, almost, really, certainly the prime.
Well, you do still have those health potions.
True enough. Who could ask for more?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't want to use one yet. I wanted spell slots, man.
Unfortunately, the pressures of the age, we cannot always have the luxury of the time we would wish.
True story. Well, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
All right.
At first level. Just
Yeah.
feel a little bit extra souped up myself.
I'll cast Mage Armor at this time.
All right.
Good choice.
Yeah.
And what? Most of my abilities are best used at the forefront, and attacking an individual person or entity, I can simply go out and, offer myself up. I feel that that's what I would do.
Okay. And so when you say go out, can you give me a sense of go out of the library, go out
The big door.
The big door, go out the big door. Okay.
I mean, do we think we can maybe, are they large enough to come through the door? Could I encounter them one by one as they come through?
Yes, you could probably, the figures, because these are clearly the figures that you saw coming out of the dirt there before. They're big enough that they would be able to fit through the door one at a time.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
That would appeal to Willamena.
All right.
Is there any way that I could get up above the door so that I could drop down on one of them as they come through?
Yeah, you can climb up the stacks.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I like that idea.
Okay.
I'll be hiding probably about 20 or 30 feet away from Willamena, just watching her back.
Okay. So then, from what I'm imagining here, you'll have a big door in front of you. Willamena is sort of standing guard in front of it. Ziggy on the thing above, And then so Fibblestip is maybe hanging around behind one of the bookshelves.
You're just getting a little bit of cover from some shelving and peeking around, checking, making sure everything's hunky dory.
Awesome.
Pun intended.
And Chris, where do you see yourself in this?
I want to stand the ground in the doorway. I'm actually better close up than far away, so I'm like, come at me, bro. Do it. I'm ready. I'm ready to not just be an intern anymore.
Could we maybe make a little fire here just inside the door? I mean, I hate to burn a book, but we could, make a fire that they have to traverse to get to us.
Yeah.
I stand in the fire. I am resistant to fire.
I briefly had a taste, and it was very heady, but it vanished.
I will say that if you want to sacrifice some of the books, basically taking them off the shelves so that they're not actually wouldn't catch fire, that you're actually it's like a fire break in a way from the other books. So yeah, I'll say you can prep that.
You do so with great regret.
All right.
We've got some duplicates of some old reprints. We don't need those. They're
these are with the covers you're not fans of.
Yeah.
You already have a copy.
Remember those Republicans you mentioned, Chrysanthemum?
Yeah, they're so gross. Burn it all.
I feel only slightly that we should say the D20 Initiative does not promote the burning of books generally, but only of copies you don't care so much about.
The apocalypse, you do what you gotta do.
Exactly.
All the good books are down lower anyways.
That's true. Yes, exactly. This is the Pulp Fiction section. Okay, so with that, I'm just trying to see here. Okay. Yes. So yeah, you're now then at the gates, ready. The doors are bashing with the weight of the fists of these gigantic clay monsters, and then with a third final crack, bam! The doors crack open, fly open. Through it lumbers a gigantic being of mostly like this stone and clay, and it lumbers forward. It moves through the fire, and I think now we'll do an initiative roll for everybody.
Yeah, time to go to war.
Jeez.
Okay, so that's 10 for Chris. All right, and sorry, what was that, Willamena?
21.
21. Oh, there we go. Okay. And Ziggy?
22.
Oh, there we go. And Fibblestip?
19.
19. Oh, there we go.
The mice came out to play.
Nice rolls. Nice rolls.
Nice.
No kidding. Okay, so yeah, basically between the fire, which I'll do some damage for that as well, and the coming through the door, you all essentially go before it. So Ziggy and Willamena, you can approach it without being hit by the fire, but while it's still being affected by the fire.
Wonderful. So I do not have to. I can use my weapon of choice instead of pulling out my longbow. All right.
Ziggy's I can drop down from above. Yeah. At this point.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll drop down with my short sword, like straight down into its head.
Okay. Great. So yeah, give me your, and this will be with your sneak attack.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be a 23 to hit.
23, that's a hit.
19 points of damage.
Nice. Okay. Well, its its head is basically as large as you, and you sink your blade into the earthy, clayey, muddy core of it, right into its head, and you cause it distraction, but it doesn't seem to be, other than distracted, that perturbed by it. So you've hurt it, but it's as a being made of dirt, there's no brain in it to pierce.
Right.
So yeah, but well done. Willamena?
Well, I will proceed with my rapier. And my first attack is an 18.
18. Okay, that's a hit.
And then my second attack is even better. That's a 24.
Oh, amazing.
And so I will be dealing 6 plus 14. That's 20 piercing.
Amazing. Okay, so yes, you're like slicing dirt off of it, and it's like groaning in a weird kind of pain as you're peeling mud off of it.
Nice, and I appreciate that so much that I get a second wind from that, and I will gain 1d10 plus 6.
Excellent.
There we go. So that's. Oh, it's not great. So 5 plus 6 is 11. Okay,
11.
done.
That's 11 more hit points to you.
Yeah.
And Fibble.
Well, now, do I happen to have a clear view behind this this imposing creature that has Ziggy with his short sword stuck into its skull? And
yeah, you can see through. So behind it is another creature of basically the same size, waiting to come through the door, and a horde of more of those scarecrows like you fought earlier that are crowding around its feet.
Now, did you say there were 4 in total of these big monstrosities?
That's what Abigail said. Yes.
Oh, right. That's right. Sorry. So, I can only see one other, though.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the other, the scarecrows, they're within 120 feet.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I would like to get as many of them in a 30-foot cube as I can and cast Hypnotic Pattern once again. As I pull out another stick of incense that I just like blow on, and it starts to glow a little bit, and I hurl it that away.
Amazing. Great. What's the DC on that again?
Wisdom save of 15.
Amazing. Okay, so stand by. And what kind of condition is this? What is it doing to them?
It is a charm, which so it'll charm the creatures on a failed save for the duration, which is up to a minute or as long as I maintain concentration.
Okay, and that's both the clay monster and the scarecrows.
If I can squeak them all into 130-foot cube, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just checking here. So as you cast this spell, it appears that there are no minds within the scarecrows to charm. And same with the mud monster. There's no
fiddlesticks.
Fibblestibs.
Fiddlesticks.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
Fibblestibs.
I'm sorry. That's a great idea. But yeah.
Way she goes.
There she goes. Yeah. Chris, it's your go now.
Would you say the outside is a dark and stormy night in the land of Barovia?
It's always dark and stormy on Barovia.
Amazing. All right, I cast Full Lightning.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. So basically, the point I'm going to pick is like if the doorway is this, it's like right here. So maybe I can even get some people outside that are bad. But in a 60-foot radius centered on a point, every creature that needs to within 5 feet of this thing has to make a dex throw, saving throw. And the creature takes 3d10 lightning damage, but it's actually 4d10 because it's dark and stormy out.
I loves it. I loves it.
The dex of 14 that you take half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well that definitely, yep, okay. So yeah, the golems that you're hitting haven't dodged it, and neither have the scarecrows. So
Amazing. Well, then they are going to take
A lot of damage.
hopefully 15 lightning damage. Not as much as I'd like. I don't roll high apparently. 15 lightning damage for all of them. Pew pew pew.
Light them up.
So yes, the golem, the two golems that you're first seeing there take an enormous hit by that. The mud on them bubbles up, and many of the scarecrows that are at their feet, that are further back, just burst into flame. They just whoosh, they're gone like kindling.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
We shall promote her tomorrow.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
So it is now the mud monster in front of you's turn, and Willamena, you're right in front. You're prepared, and it's going to slam at you. For let's see here, 21.
Oh, that's a hit.
Yeah. For
I'm gonna use my reaction here to project my arcane ward from myself over to Willamena.
Okay.
So Willamena, you get how many hit points do I have left? You get 8 temporary hit points to kind of lessen the blow a little bit here.
Willamena feels this sort of flushness, and she's like, "Yes, Team Mice, Magister, Intern, Captain, and Elder. Thank you."
I was hoping that team name would come up.
Yeah.
So the total amount of damage you would be taking is 12, but now this is minus by that.
I got my temporary. Yeah.
It does make 2 attacks though. So
Bring it on.
that is, let's see here. 14? No, that doesn't get past you, does it?
No, it does not. Urshal whips around and just, you think it's a flimsy thing, and yet...
Okay, with that, I mentioned a bunch of the scarecrows around the one that was still outside burst into flames. So now that monster's turn is done, another say 20 or so scarecrows advance to that same position behind. So in their next turn, after this coming one, they will come into the library.
The bonfire that we have set for them.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not smart. But in this turn, they've just advanced to the position of the ones that just got destroyed. And the one that's still outside is still waiting to come through because the one that you're facing is in the block.
Just to clarify, where are they coming from? Are they being generated by something?
Well, so you don't. You can't see beyond the second golem outside, and like, I might remind you of the wraiths that were around in the earlier scene.
Right.
Where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, but since you mentioned it, Ziggy, it's your turn now, and you're still on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. I feel inspired
by what's happening with Willamena down below. So I'm gonna like take my short sword, and I'm gonna try to like let it like jump and the whole weight of my body drag me down his back while it's inserted in his back.
Okay.
So I'll just do a regular attack, I suppose.
I'll call that another sneak attack. Sure. If you want that, because that's so epic, I'll not let that happen.
Right. So that's a 24 to hit.
Amazing.
4. Uh, 21 points of damage as my blade slices all the way down his back. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage and run behind Willamena.
Amazing. Okay.
Hide behind my skirts again.
Yes.
And Willamena, it's your go right after that.
So I just have this big golem really in front of me. There's nothing else at the moment.
Nope.
I will.
Standing in the fire.
It's still standing in the fire. I'll say, you really ought to try to get away from me. And then I will attack it with my rapier. So the first hit is a 24 to hit. And then an 11. Is that it?
No, the 11 does not hit. No, sorry.
Okay. So that will be... So that'll be 10 slashing from the one that did hit.
Okay.
And then as a bonus, I will drop my shawl and let it fly back and take out my dagger and attack with my offhand. Oh, crummy. So that is a 2 plus 8. So that's a 10. That rolling this is 2.
That does miss. Yeah. Okay, Fibble, what's your?
Well, seeing that these guys don't really have brains to hypnotize, I figure I could probably still get them all kinds of stuck up in the situation. And I produce my wand of web, from which I cast another casting of web.
Yes. Excellent. Great. Yeah. So that shoots out. It webs between the stacks and the doorway. So it's created a difficult terrain for the monsters as they're coming through. I'm going to just take it as granted that you've chosen to keep it away from the fire.
Yes, you betcha.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Yeah, I basically just wanted to kind of cover the door so anybody that tries to come through gets all stuck up.
Excellent. Great. Okay. So, Chris.
Yeah, I'm real annoyed by all these things that keep coming into our space. So, I cast Thunder Wave. It just at the first level, and each creature in a 15-foot cube. So I'm kind of going after the little dudes because I think they're going to be so annoying. So however many I can hit, and it's a Constitution saving throw of 14, and if and I can push them 10 feet away. So I'm trying to get them out the door. I want them.
Okay, great. Yeah.
So what I'm doing. So. Does oh.
Uh-oh.
Got that one.
Wait, No, you don't have to roll anything for this one.
Oh, I don't? Great.
Yeah, the creatures have to roll.
I think it's just a saving throw. Yeah.
Oh, great. I don't roll anything. I just hit them with thunder.
It's okay, you're an intern.
I'm an intern.
No.
So your thunder wave does succeed at pushing it, staggering back into the doorway, and it's now leaning back. It's like sort of obstructing anything else from coming through.
Great, and they take 9 points of damage if they didn't save.
More mud peels off of it. With this, actually, in this moment, you hear Ursula's voice in your minds. Yes, Willamena?
I was going to say, did it get pushed back? Do I get an opportunity attack? This point?
Not in not in this case.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Sorry. Well, or rather, let me resolve this moment here. Because
Sure.
Ursula's voice appears in all of your minds, and time slows down. And she says, "Heroes, you have given me the time I need. We may not have been able to save the books in this library, but we have saved the magic of this library. Do you wish to stay in this moment and fight for the remaining time that's left, or would you like to try to survive in another place? I give you one chance."
Well,
wow.
My family has been here guarding this library forever and ever and ever. Operation Flower Garden means this library must survive. I'm standing my ground.
Amazing. Okay, great. Ziggy?
These golems are getting my floor all dirty. I'm staying.
Amazing. Okay, Willamena?
I turn and I look at intern Chrysanthemum, who I've never called just Chris before, and I say, Chris, you need to live.
What?
I'm just saying that. Okay? I'm planting that idea in your flower garden, please. Chris, I stay. We stay. We will stay and protect this library.
But I don't want to go. You're my friends.
Exactly.
But you're not. I'm staying. My bookmark says I came here for you, and I'm staying with you.
You could live to take over our jobs when we're gone.
I won't be very good at them. I sneeze all the time and light books on
Not
fire.
with that attitude. Come on.
But if I must go, then I want to do one more thing to help before I leave. Can I do one more thing?
Yeah, I'll let you do one more thing, and then I've got a different mechanic here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then if I'm running away anyway, then I would like to cast. I'm gonna cast Moonbeam, just on the horde coming in as one final moment. Get him. Am I allowed?
Pardon me? Say the last part again?
I want to hit him with Moonbeam. If they're making me run, I'm gonna do it before I go.
Sure, yeah. No, that works.
We have a squeak.
As you cast Moonbeam, there's also a squeak. Your final squeak, Chrysanthemum, from Marcia at the pivotal moment. Ross.
I think I should just list the whole.
What was the effect on Chris again? Oh, it was
It'll
the
sparkly icy, and then ice happens.
You know, instead of it showing on your body, I think I'm now going to let it be coming through the moonbeam. So it's going to be sparkling.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Okay, great. So I cast Moonbeam, 40-foot high cylinder in a 5-foot radius. So I'm just doing it at the doorway. All the creatures near it are engulfed in ghostly flames and must make a con saving throw of 14 and take. I'm just casting it at 3rd level, so 3d10.
3D10.
Yeah, that's right.
Moon damage.
Moonbeam damage.
Come on, be more than an intern. So 14 damage to anybody that hits, unless they save, and that's how.
Amazing. You actually take out some more of those scarecrows that are further back, and the two mud monsters in front of you groan in pain. And then yes, so as you start to step away, Willamena, after you gave this rousing choice to Chris, you actually watch her slowly fade into an ethereal space and then disappear. And I'm going to resolve that in a moment, but my wizard familiar has thrown up on the floor and I need to clean it up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry. Can the MC come in for a moment and just say hello? Perhaps the other heroes can also brainstorm how they're going to go out in a last blaze of glory. I'm going to be right back.
Blaze of glory?
You know, ironically, I've been counting the appearances of your wizard familiars in this game so far, and there have been 4 kitten sightings, 2 from, I believe his name is Mucho, the culprit of this incident. And Fibblestib, your wee familiar, whose name is
Wilbur,
has also made 2 appearances. My familiars are sleeping soundly right over there.
Yeah, mine usually harass me all night long, but they've been very good tonight and they've left me alone.
Very polite. Unlike Mucho. Mucho is an agent of chaos.
He is an agent of chaos.
I don't know if you guys notice, every time that Jason plays with us, Mucho is trouble.
Yeah.
The best. Players.
A blaze of glory. I don't know. I mean,
all I got's me short sword and me bow. And an immovable rod. I forgot about that. That could
can't forget the immovable rod.
Yes.
How could I use that?
Yeah. Oh, I just think of all the things I could have done.
Yes, well.
It's just us now.
That's fine. We'll fight to the last, obviously. I'll probably try to grease a bunch of these suckers and, I don't know, throw some webs around. That's what I love doing.
I'll just hit them and hit them again.
Do you think there's any way we could lure them over the edge and fall 9 stories to the basement?
A revelation.
That's a long way to fall.
Let's do it. What if we... I don't know.
I
could cast minor illusion.
So can I. Maybe we could do 2 illusions to try and lure them, like, I don't know, with advantage or something.
Over the edge, as though, like, we sort of dive and hide, and then, like, send an image of us going
like
over.
Hovering in space or something, right over the edge.
Well, what about they're here for the ink pot, right?
Ah, yeah, right.
You can do an illusion of the ink pot.
Apologies.
I like that. I like that.
You gave the players time,
A
DM.
plan has been hatched.
Yeah. I
Has
think
been cleaned. Onward, heroes to the end.
Yeah.
So yes, apologies. My wizard familiar is looking very forlorn over there and sad about his mistake.
Right.
But yes. So what's the plan, heroes?
Willamena is going to step across to Ziggy, to Captain Brineybottom, clasp his hand, and together we are going to attempt to cast minor illusion in a particularly fearsome and brilliant way.
We both know the cantrip. So we're hoping that you might let us have advantage on casting like a really, really good image of the inkwell that they're all after.
Hovering in space,
Out over
but
top.
not They don't know it's in space.
We're hoping to lure them over and fall 9 stories down.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. 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 Is that the whole plan? Is there any other? Does Fibblestip have any part in this?
I'm gonna grease a bunch of scarecrows and keep using that wand of web until the thing explodes, and then I'll cast more web until I have no more spell slots, and then
May I make a suggestion? Why don't you cast grease right in front of the area where they'd go over the edge?
Oh, jeez! Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Captain.
Amazing. Amazing.
We're gonna make this work.
Now I'm gonna handle this because based on our time frame. I'm gonna handle this more narratively than through a strict combat situation, and we also want to get to where Chris is.
Yeah.
Want to resolve that because she's in a whole other place, and so yes. So then yes, this is a great idea. In the interests of getting a big advantage on this, you guys basically move back from the doors, create your illusion, grease the floors, and yes, the horde of these mindless beings drive through. There's the first damaged golem slides right over the edge, falls 9 stories, and breaks apart. Into dozens of pieces. The next one proceeds to slide and fall and crack all the way down. Doesn't quite break into dozens of pieces, and there's still like a good 3/4 of it that's still ambulatory and moving around.
I cast Firebolt.
Then yes, okay, that one cracks it open. But then a third clay monster comes through the doors, followed by a 4th clay monster, and there's still more scarecrows coming, and behind them all are these 4 wraiths breathing mysteriously as they now start to enter the library. So I'm going to narratively kind of move through this. Willamena, I imagine, is cutting her way through the scarecrows to get closer to these wraiths, to try to let them taste her blade before she goes. Ziggy is sliding is right next to Willamena, sometimes underneath her robes, and then sneaking out of nowhere to stab. Of the 4 wraiths, there is one that falls beneath the 2 of you, before you 2 are overcome by these wraiths. Fibblestib is webbing and zapping to the best of his ability, but still eventually falls to the claws of dozens of scarecrows. And with all of this, the library is losing its defenders right and left. But Chris is finding herself in another kind of place, not unlike the library that she left, but larger and stranger. She is on, instead of it just being 9 stories, when she looks over the edge of the balcony, she sees nothing but more balconies, as far as she can see down. As far as she can see up, nothing but more balconies. There are bookshelves all around you, but these books contain language that you can't quite understand. No book seems to make sense on its own. You're in some larger version of your library that has lost some of the spark of what made your library important, but you know that out there the ink pot, and that it's somewhere deeper inside the place where the lagoon leads to. And maybe someday as well, you will have a chance to become free from this place. But for now, you are in a library all on your own.
Miss my friends.
And with that is the end of our adventure.
Oh my gosh. Where did we send her to?
Did we save her? I don't know.
Yes, you did say.
Saved? Will she be alone forever? Only speculate. Whoa, holy bleak Halloween, everybody. Yeah. Thus concludes the 5th episode of Pages and Mages. Thank you so much to our team and to everybody who tuned in to watch us live. And only a slightly smaller but still hopefully impactful shout out to the folks who watch this on YouTube at a later date. Please do not forget to subscribe and like the video. A big round of applause and big congratulations to our illustrious squeakers, Dandelion, David, Marcia, and Al, for guiding tonight's adventure with deftness and humor. Well done to all of you. Thank you, Jason, for building this spooky world and for guiding us through your mind mausoleum. And of course, to DJ Alan Skellebones Johnson for those creepy Halloween audio vibes. And thanks to this evening's most excellent cast, Jennifer Gerritsen, Curt McKinstry, Holly Rome, and Eric Philpis. Hey, you can find Eric on Instagram at Evius Studios. Eric, do you have anything else you'd like to plug?
Yeah. Hit me up for music, teaching, learning, recording, all kinds of things.
All kinds of things. Mostly music, though.
Eric, do you still do D&D games for people? Is that as a thing?
That is true. That is also something that I have hired myself out to do. So if you want to get in touch and play some Dungeons and Dragons,
I love Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey, me
I like to play that. Yeah.
There was a comment in the chat that one of our most loyal fans and illustrious squeakers, Dan, has never actually played D&D, but he watches almost every game. So maybe this is... Hey,
I
Holly.
feel like that needs to change.
Hey, Holly, our other special guest, do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah. So if anyone's really feeling like they want to have those Halloween vibes, but also hopefully stay safe during this crazy pandemic, I work for this cool building called Lougheed House. And on October 30th and 31st, we are partnering with Stage Theater to do an evening of ghost stories. But we are also using fancy AV equipment to spread our guests throughout the house. So you get to be in an old Victorian house and dress up for Halloween, but stay in your cohort and get ghost stories. It's going to be an awesome night. To find tickets for that, go to Eventbrite, and if you search All Hallows Eve, you will find our event. And you
Amazing.
Can
Very cool.
Yeah.
You can also go to sagetheater.com and that'll give you a link right there too.
That's a plug for Sage Theater from Jason.
Our other partner. Hey.
Oh, the coincidences. Hey, Jen, Curt, anything you guys want to plug?
Just tune in. What is it? When's our next show?
November. Anybody
off the top of your head?
Thank you so much for the segue.
2 weeks from now?
2 weeks from now. 2 Mondays from now, November 2nd. We are back in Beaconhold in our main campaign with DM Kevin Cork taking over this time. All right. Well, if there's...
I do have just one other thing to say. If you found the landscape that Chrysanthemum ended up in particularly interesting, there is a story by Georges Borges called The Library of Babel, and that's what inspired the alternate universe that she ended up in.
Oh, cool.
Ooh. I can't wait to see what that actually implies for the rest of our world. All right. Well, thank you so much to everybody for joining us tonight. I have been your MC, Basic Witch, Emma Brager. Please do tune in November 2nd at 7 p.m. for the next episode of Pages and Mages. Onward, heroes. Have a great night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.
Waving. Keep waving.